4 phrases with unimaginable power and energy. Words that can change your life. I truly believe these phrases have the real potential to completely transform your life, if you repeat them to yourself every single day. The first phrase I recommend you start each day with is, I came into this world for a reason. This phrase pushes you to search for your mission, your true purpose. It forces you to find the point where your efforts will have the greatest impact. You see, without this mindset, you may feel like someone drifting through life, swayed by every passing wind, without any real direction. But you must start shaping your own life, not just reacting to events, but actively creating them. And to do that, you need to understand one thing clearly: why you are here. There's an old Chinese saying, if a ship doesn't know where it's going, no wind is favorable. For your life to be truly effective, you must have a clear sense of purpose. Even Albert Einstein once said, strive not to be a success, but rather to be of value. This phrase, I came into this world for a reason, acts like a trigger, igniting a powerful inner search for answers. Why am I alive? What is all of this for? Why do I need money? Why do I need a career or a business? What is the real purpose behind all my actions? Once you start walking this path, it will eventually lead you to the necessity of defining your mission, your unique point of contribution, and focusing your full energy there. This will unlock all your talents, maximize your abilities, and channel your full personality and drive into fulfilling that one true purpose, your mission. Believe me, this path leads to incredible results. When people ask me whether I was always into personal growth and deep thinking, I tell them, no. I lived an ordinary life. I grew up in a village, went to a small rural school, and after graduation, I worked as a shepherd. Many of you have heard this story. One day, under the scorching sun, as I was watching the heat waves rise over the steppe, a piercing thought hit me. Is this really why I came into this world, just to herd my own food? That single thought, like a stone set loose from a mountaintop, triggered an unstoppable avalanche inside me. Since that moment, I have never stopped moving forward. Everything I have achieved today started with that first small thought. So every morning, begin by telling yourself, I came into this world for a reason. Now, some people might object and say, but if everyone starts thinking this way, who will be left to do the humble jobs? The janitors, the plumbers, the carpenters? Everyone will think they're meant for greatness and quit their work. That's a misunderstanding. Many believe that a mission must be something grand or reserved only for famous figures like the Dalai Lama or Nelson Mandela. But that's not true. Mission means service. It's the meaning you bring into everything you do. Let me tell you a story. One day, a monk and his student were walking past a church under renovation. The monk asked one of the builders, "What are you doing?" The builder replied, "I'm mixing cement and applying it to the walls, basically just plastering." They walked a little further and met a street sweeper. The monk asked him the same question, "What are you doing?" The street sweeper answered, "Every day, I clear the path to the temple." He could have said, "I'm just sweeping trash," but instead, he saw a deeper meaning in his work. You see, mission isn't about doing something lofty or out of reach. It's about how you view the work you are doing, no matter what it is. It's one thing to go about your daily routine, thinking your actions are meaningless. It's another thing entirely to see a deeper purpose behind everything you do. Every simple task can carry a profound significance if you choose to see it that way. Behind even the smallest action lies a greater mission. The second powerful phrase that can transform your life, and that you should repeat to yourself every morning, is this: the world is full of miracles. The problem many people, especially atheists, face is that they say, "Show me a miracle first, and then I'll believe." But the truth is, the world doesn't work that way. First, you believe. And then miracles start to happen in your life. What are miracles? By definition, miracles happen exactly when they are needed most, and exactly when every logical sign says they're impossible. That's what makes them miracles. When you remind yourself every morning that the world is full of miracles, you open a window through which these miracles can enter your life. Despite my love for structure, logic, and technology, I have learned to leave room for miracles. In fact, miracles have played such a huge role in my life that I believe in them just as firmly as I believe in the laws of physics. It's crucial to stay alert for signs and to have faith in miracles. When miracles happen, skeptics might say, "Oh, you just got lucky." But what is luck, really? Most people define it based on probability theory. They think everything is random. I don't live in a world of probability. I live in a world of miracles. Miracles happen despite the odds. Here's something important to understand. Luck is simply the favorable alignment of time and place. In other words, being at the right place at the right time. And isn't that itself a miracle? So, the second phrase you must weave into the fabric of your being is: the world is full of miracles. Believe it. Live it. And miracles will find you. I'm sure each of you has already experienced miracles, but maybe you brushed them off as coincidence, or just called it good luck. There's a saying I love. People call it luck when they don't understand the hand of the Almighty at work. You see, it's not random. What we call luck often has divine order behind it. I'd love for you to share your own miracle moments in the comments. Write about the times when miracles happened in your life, especially the moments when they seemed least likely. You'll notice two things. First, miracles always came when you needed them most. And second, they happened against all odds. Always leave room for miracles. And now, moving on to the third phrase that can change your life. What happens to you does not depend on your goals, it depends on your intentions. You see, the Almighty judges us not by our achievements, but by our intentions. In Islam, it said, if a person intends to commit a wrong but doesn't follow through, they're rewarded with a good deed. If someone intends to do good but fails to act, they are still rewarded with a good deed. And if they intend to do good and follow through, they are rewarded 700 times over. The Almighty judges by intentions. People judge by actions. That's the great difference. Until you deeply realize that what happens to you isn't merely what you set as a goal but what aligns with your true intention, life will feel like an uphill battle. So remember this phrase: first, refine your intention. There's an old saying that a good intention is half of the wealth you seek. Why is that? As I explain in my video on the power of intention, and how it engages external forces, when you sit back on your couch and form a positive intention, the universe begins to move toward you. Everything starts to line up in your favor. By simply setting a good intention, you've already completed 50% of the work. While you're still sitting there, someone somewhere might be thinking about offering you an opportunity, or a courier could already be on their way with a letter addressed to you. You just don't see all the behind-the-scenes momentum. A proper intention activates these external forces for your benefit, because the Almighty is on your side. My fourth powerful, energetic phrase that can transform your life is: I am responsible for everything that happens to me, and only what I think from the very beginning comes to pass. Strive to master your thoughts, or if you can't fully control them, at least minimize the negative ones and focus on the positive. Whatever you concentrate on grows. So if you give your attention to good thoughts, they flourish. Here's the progression. Seed a positive thought, reap a positive action. Seed a positive action, reap a positive habit. Seed a positive habit, reap a positive character. Seed a positive character, reap a positive destiny. It's vital to know where to direct your focus and to accept full responsibility for your life. Those who blame others for their hardships or failures never achieve lasting success. How it works: if you believe you're poor because the government is bad, why change yourself? You think the government should change. If you say your business isn't growing because your employees are bad, why adjust your approach? It's them who need to change, right? But when you take responsibility, you ignite the flywheel of self-development and transformation. Saying I'm poor because of me, and I take full responsibility instantly leads to the next question: what do I need to do to become wealthy? Or how can I prevent this issue from recurring? By owning your circumstances, you set genuine change in motion. Even lightning doesn't strike at random, it only hits someone in the wrong place at the wrong time. If you're safely indoors during a storm, lightning can't reach you. That's your responsibility, choosing where to be. So each morning, repeat: I am responsible for everything that happens to me. That's the fourth phrase I wanted to share. Now, commit all four of these phrases to memory and repeat them every day. I promise you that in a year, you won't recognize yourself. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, and click the link below to join my Telegram, where I share even more personal stories, experiences, and life hacks.